It's a brother up north better than Jordan. He didn't get that break. Yeah, welcome back to the Break Podcast. Here on this podcast, we acknowledge athletes who was a star in their city. Today is no different. We have my guy Q. Q, was can you hear me?
I can hear you now, bro. I just wanted to make sure the volume was right. I can hear you now, though.
Yes, sir. Can you tell the people your name and where you from and what high school you went to?
Man, my name is Quentin Thomas, man. Better known to a lot of people as Q back home. I went to Oakland Tech High School, born and raised in Oakland, East Oakland to be exact, but got love for the whole town, whole Bay actually, but west, north, east, to the stack, to Frisco, to Richmond, everywhere, man. I just got love for the whole area, and I got a lot of good people from all parts. So I'm happy to be here with you, bro. Thank you for your patience, bro, your time, and we here.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. This is huge, brother. I appreciate you. So we'll get right into it, Q. What what age did you pick up a basketball?
Man, I want to say, to be honest, Mike, I had a basketball fresh out the hospital, bro. Like one of my mom's friends, dad's friends, actually put a small little Nerf ball in my crib when I was a baby. But
Oh yeah.
when I really started, I'll say about 5 or 6, when I took a liking to basketball.
Yeah.
And by the time of 8 or 9, it was like, man, I love doing this. I could tell early. I didn't have any high expectations, but we'll probably get into that. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love hoop. Well, I probably not really, man. Like I always tell people I was blessed with basketball. So being blessed to play hoop, I met a lot of people, of course, that played hoop also in different areas, though,
Of course.
aside from just mine.
Of
So
course.
when I started traveling with AAU ball, I
Yeah.
would realize how a lot of kids were being prepped for not high school, not college,
For the
for the
league.
league, for the league. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so like when I'm in high school and now I'm in the 10th grade, just started using or working with a strength and conditioning trainer.
Yeah.
I'm finding out it's kids that have been having a strength and conditioning trainer since they
Since
was
J High.
9, 10 years old. You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because they were prepped to go to the league. It's almost like, it's a lot of people that play football, but
Yeah.
all of us know in the South, specifically the Miamis, the Texases,
Oh man, they breed
states
them.
they breed them. Like
Yeah.
they breed them.
They
You know what
breed
I'm
them.
saying?
Literally. Yeah.
You see a kid in the neighborhood that's 7, 8 years old,
Yeah.
but you could tell talent early. And it's like,
Absolutely.
oh no, he's gonna be one of those ones. So, it was different for me. I just fell in love with the game, and then the people that I came in contact with from players and coaches,
Yeah.
and helped me build that. But about 8 or 9, man, when I really just fell in love with hoop and really was like, I think I like this.
Yeah, I hear you. I heard you touched on that when you started playing AAU, you realized people was getting conditioned for this to go to the league. Is it any particular player that you met on this AAU circuit that stick out in your mind? Like, oh, this what you doing, bro? Oh, okay.
I think I didn't realize that, Mike, until probably high school. When I got to high school and started going through the recruiting process.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
when I first started playing AAU basketball, I played under a coach. My first coach was Coach Ed Williams, and he had
Yeah.
a team in Tar Heel.
Mm.
So I played with the likes of Lorenzo Alexander, who went to the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
Jason Gaines, who played hoop at USF,
Yup.
Marquine Chandler,
Yeah.
who played at Newark Memorial and then played overseas, had a long career overseas as a pro.
Yeah.
Those were my big brothers just starting.
Yeah.
I was 8 playing on a 12 and under team, man. Our first game, I ain't even touched the floor. And after the game, I'm in the car crying, upset. And Pop's like, man, what's wrong with you? Like, Pop's looking in the back seat like, bro, what's wrong with you? And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I didn't play. He like, you 8, like you on a 12 and under team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
now that I'm
I hear
looking
that
at it,
when you little.
that's probably my first time where I realized Pops was telling me, like, man, be patient. Like, you'll
Yeah.
be fine. Like, you the baby out here.
Yeah.
Um, so then I just turned into that, and being around older kids, always hooping around older adults. I think that's how I picked up the game a little bit faster and, really found my place being a point guard, learning how to assist, learning how to control the flow of the floor, flow of the game, and everything like
Absolutely.
that. So it started at a young age. Yeah.
Absolutely. So would you say your pops was the guy that inspired you, that made you want to get out there, or like that gave you a push, or was it a teammate? Was it somebody in the neighborhood?
Pops was definitely a big influence. You know, Pops he played football when he was coming up, but
Mm,
Pops just played like just for fun. You know, my grandparents weren't really into sports like that.
okay.
So I think if maybe, you know, if my grandfather, my grandmother was more into sports, maybe my dad would have did more.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
not just saying it because he was Pops, like he just loved to play, but he was athletic as hell.
Hell
So
yeah. Hell yeah.
uh, Pops had a good friend that played best friend that was a police officer for Berkeley Police Department.
Yeah.
So on the weekend we could go up there and hoop at the gym.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was young, so I couldn't even hoop yet. I was like literally 4 or 5, so I'm watching and I'm shooting at the other end of the court.
Right.
But Pops was one of those players, even playing pickup, he'll go to the park, go to a gym, work on left hand floaters the whole
Yeah.
time he there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a in and out move and finish with the right. He
Mm,
would always work on 1 or 2 moves. So I started picking that up at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Pops could help with, he would direct me in that direction. But whatever he couldn't help with or didn't know much about, he always looked for the information. You know what I'm saying? So pride never got in Pop's way. He just wanted me to be me and my little sister. He just wanted us to be the best people we could be. And if this sport was something I loved, then
yeah.
treat it as such. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. 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 So when did you realize, like, damn, I could really play this game for real. I really got game, and people acknowledging me for it.
I think middle school, like elementary, I saw it, but middle school,
What middle school did
sixth
you
grade,
go to?
I went to Monterey.
Got my terror. Okay, absolutely.
I went to Monterey. So I say about middle school is when I was like, all right, I might be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because I never, as crazy as it may sound, when I was young, I still always looked outside of home. So I
Yeah.
never thought like, oh, well, I'm the best player in Oakland. So that automatically means I'm the best in the world. I'm like, no, this world is pretty big. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So
Right.
like,
Right. Right. Right.
I might be, I
Right.
might be top 100 in the Bay Area, but that don't mean I'm top 100 in Texas or, you know what I'm saying, just
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
alone another city compared to a state. But I
Gotcha.
say about middle school, man, I started really realizing my talent and my gift, you know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? And people would start coming to games. And then it got to the point where a lot of people was coming to games specifically for me.
Mm.
And, you know, they telling me this. I'm like, it's other raw players in this gym, but for
Yeah.
y'all to be coming up to me saying like, man, I came here because I heard, you know what I'm saying, you get down as a youngster. So and then going into high school with Tech, playing with Mondo, Deuce, Leon,
Yeah.
like those games were if we could do a documentary on the OAL back then, bro, like
No. Uh,
it would be mayhem, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was thankful to play in that type of environment, you know,
Yeah.
playing in Oakland, playing in the Rich, playing in Frisco. You got to have a certain grittiness about yourself or you're going to get ran
Absolutely.
right up off the court. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I learned that early. And that actually started shout out. I forgot to shout those out, but the recreation centers, the TASs, the Bush Rods,
Absolutely. Of
EOYDC, Brookfield,
course.
and so forth all throughout the town. You know what I'm saying? So those recreation centers just didn't protect us, you know, from a lot of the stuff that was outside. It also helped groom a lot of us, you
Oh,
know, with whatever we were doing. If it was basketball, if it was pottery, you know what I'm saying? Different classes that a lot of these rec centers had, but it kept us safe, but it helped us grow into what we were doing and then grow together as partners and friends doing what we love to do too. You feel me?
absolutely. What was your favorite year at Tech? That your best season, or your favorite year, freshman through VAR?
Wow, bro. I think that's a great question. That's probably the first time somebody's ever asked me that. I always feel like sophomore, my 10th grade, and 10th grade was probably when we had the best team.
Can I hear who was on this? At least the top, your starting five.
And I only say 10th grade because ninth grade, if
Yeah.
everybody was eligible,
Yeah.
ninth grade would have been because ninth grade, when I got there, it would have been myself, Mondo, Leon, Deuce,
Mm,
Keith Wheelwright, who a lot of people know. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? Keith
mm.
just didn't have the grades, but Keith was KD before we knew
KD.
who KD was,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
best. You feel what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, no
yeah.
disrespect. Like, that's who KD was before we knew who a KD was.
Right, right.
And then DeMarshe
Yeah.
Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a big brother of mine, had a little grade trouble while his senior year, but he wasn't able to play. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
like adding him and Keith to a team. Well, DeMarshe only played half the season, so adding both of them for a whole season to the team we had, ninth grade probably would have been the most talented.
yeah.
But to be honest, man, I think my senior year was the most fun. And I say
Mm,
that because a lot of people, would say like, man, Q can't shoot, Q can't score, Q can't do this, Q can't do that. I've always been a guy that he can't do this, he can't do that, even knowing I could.
right,
But
right.
I was just always an unselfish player. You know what I'm saying?
A true point guard, though.
I was a true PG, man. Like I watched Jason Kidd, you know what I'm
Um,
saying? I would watch old tapes of the original Isaiah Thomas.
yeah,
I'm watching GP. Then
yeah,
then we get into the Jason Williams era, White Chocolate, and you know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, being a youngster, that was a way for me to get on the court.
yeah.
You couldn't always be the youngest or the baby on the court trying to shoot all the shots. It's like,
Right.
so how will I be able for the OGs to pick me up
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
For
still
surely.
play,
For surely.
passing the ball?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, if I add some flash to it, now I'm seeing how they responding to the passes. They like, oh, he nice, you know what I'm saying? Different
Yeah.
things. So senior year, I feel like it was least expectations because a lot of people didn't expect a lot from me per
Right.
se on the offensive end.
Right.
But we had people like Josh Johnson, my brother,
Mhm.
who's getting actually shout out to him. He's getting a
Shout out.
key to the city today in Oakland, man. So shout
Oh,
out to Josh.
shout out to Josh. He
You know,
deserved it. He
bro,
deserved
he
it,
do,
brother.
man.
He
One of
deserved
the
it.
purest human beings I know on this earth, bro. Like one of the most humble. I just love Josh beyond. He already know. Head already know.
Uh-huh.
But we had Josh, we had Ticket, we had Shay, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Marshawn played a little bit that year, or a little in junior year, not senior year, because he was getting ready to go to Cal.
Right. Right.
So we had senior year was really just all friends and family who grew up together,
Right.
whether it was in North Oakland, East Oakland, West Oakland, we all knew each other.
Right.
So we knew how to play with one another. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Then we had a transfer, Denzel from New York, Lil
Mm.
Zelly. Shout
Raw.
out Zelly. Zelly was,
Baller.
man, no taller than 5'7", bro. No
Mm-hmm.
lie. And would give you problems all over the court, all over the court. So, you know, I think we just came together, but
Let me.
every year was fun for me.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say my 10th grade and senior year was
Yeah.
probably the most fun for me. Yeah.
Now, I heard you. I heard you give a shout out to all the recreational centers around the city, which is huge. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of one of the reasons why I want to do the podcast. Can you give me maybe two players that probably never touched a court in high school per se because they didn't have the grades, but two players that you like, yo, that boy was nice. When you come to that recreational center, he giving you buckets.
That's another great question, bro. And it's one of those questions that probably, unfortunately, I am not even gonna be able to remember everybody because
It's,
that's how
I'm already knowing.
teams is.
I'm
But
already.
but there are a few
We're not gonna get
people in Oakland.
everybody, but
Right.
you know what I'm
But
saying? If it's one or two that just stick out in your mind, that's like, man, that boy, oh my God. Even if you just know his nickname, like
people know. But Mossy did play at Oakland High for a little bit. People who know, people who was at Rainbow back in the day, around that
Rainbow.
area, they know Mossy. Like when I say Mossy, they know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Handles, shot. I'm talking about like really could come in the Rainbow off a hood snack. You know what I'm saying? Burritos and some chips and a Pepsi, like just being a kid.
Yeah,
But to go in the court and dog any age,
yeah,
adult, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Had a lot of people like that. Um, I mean, even before my time, you got the Hook Mitchells that
Oh,
I didn't get to play. Well, actually, I played with when I got older, and I got
Yeah.
a chance to talk to Hook when I was in high school and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
it's so many people like that, man, with so much talent. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
I know. I
And
know.
a lot of them, I got game from a lot of them. You know, a lot of
Absolutely.
them were big inspirations for me because
Yeah.
for some of them that knew maybe they weren't going to play in high school, college, whatever, they still saw somebody in me who I was younger than most of them,
Yeah.
and they would kind of keep me under their wing too, you know. And that's why I say I'm blessed, bro, because aside from just hoop, I really grew up within a village. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? Like, so
I hear
I
you,
think
bro.
that's what I think that's what's lacking for a lot of, I don't even want to say kids, just people nowadays.
People in
They don't
general.
really have people in general. They don't really have a village around them, bro.
It
Like
take a village, brother.
we didn't really let each other fail. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we would bump our heads, make our little mistakes, but your friends and family not gonna let you fail.
And
That
they
really
tell you
genuinely
don't be over there. Nah, what you doing up over here, bro? You hoop. Why you even out here, bro?
you know what it is, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so things of that nature. And I wasn't a kid, like I always tell people I was a regular Oakland kid, man, but like I wasn't in the streets, you know,
Yeah.
like I didn't sell nothing. I wasn't, you feel me? I wasn't holding nothing. But I
Fool.
think just me being me, you know what I'm saying? Like I always tell people no matter what you do, and no matter your household, whether it's one parent, two parents, if it's a crazy household, you're going through a lot, if everybody got things together, once you
Yeah.
step out that door, you got to embrace all of Oakland, all of Richmond, all of Frisco, all of the Bay Area, no matter where you at.
Mm-hmm.
So I was around everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was around everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then the stuff that I shouldn't be around at certain times, whether I knew it or my close friends, like, bro, we about to, you feel me?
For
Go
surely.
ahead and go to the gym,
For
go
surely.
home,
For
go do
surely.
this.
For surely.
So it was a village where I knew people that genuinely cared about me. You know what I'm saying? So I try to always keep those people closest. To this day, I still try to keep those people close.
100, brother. Do you remember your first letter you got from a college that you was excited about? That first feeling of like, what? Okay.
My first letter was from Nebraska, bro. I'll never
Mm.
forget. First letter was from Nebraska. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
went home. And I was joking with my dad, like being funny. I was like, "Yep, your baby boy moving up in the world got my first letter." You
Yeah.
know, so me and Pops was like joking about it, but happy about it too, because it's like, you know, you being recognized. No matter who the school is, you being recognized. And started with
Absolutely.
Nebraska, and after that, man, it was just an avalanche full of letters, bro. And not just letters. It started with letters, of course, but I always tell people there's a big difference between getting letters from a college and getting an offer from a college.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Because I also had a lot of colleges that gave me letters, sent me letters, but
Yeah.
that didn't necessarily mean they were all in for me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
Um,
1,000.
but you know, I'm thankful for going through those experiences just for the recruiting steps because now I'm able to, you know, get that game and that knowledge to the youngsters or the parents of the kids that's coming up nowadays going through that same thing. And I want them to be able to handle it more smoothly than me and my family was because I was the first one in my family to go through something like that.
Oh man, the first
So,
one is always the toughest.
you know, and kind of like the first one in the area to go. Like nobody else had gone to a Carolina, a Duke, a Kentucky, you know what I'm saying? So
Surely.
to be on that level now is different expectations. It's not just on the court. It's on the
No,
court. It's off the court stuff. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So, and the first person that really went to college that I was close enough to talk to was Leon, but
Mm-hmm.
Leon was just a year older than me. So
Absolutely.
he's just now experiencing it. You know what I'm saying? So we
Right.
almost was pretty much experiencing it at the same time.
Absolutely.
Um, but it was looking back on it, man. I'm thankful because I went through a lot, great moments, good moments, bad moments, tough moments, but they all shaped me into the man I am today and still becoming. And I can get that game to the youngsters, whether it's through coaching, training, music, or just a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Let me ask you this: when you make the commit, we know you went to North Carolina. When you make that commitment, do you feel like your rep was online every game after that? Do you feel like people was coming after you like I'm trying to make a name off Q. I'm about to try to go all out on them.
Yeah, it definitely started, and it was like almost movie like.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one story. We had a tournament with Tech my senior year,
Yeah.
and it was after I made my verbal commitment to Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and it was New Year's Eve. I'll never forget this, and I forgot where the team we were playing from, but they had like a 6'10" kid, and then they
Yeah.
had like a little short point guard, was a decent player too. So I go to the hole, and the 6'10" kid toss it,
Yeah.
and and the and the little point guard like, man, this the one that's going to Carolina, like
Of course.
playing like that. He Carolina, man, he hella weak, like won't. So going back to Joshua Johnson, Josh was playing, and me and Josh in the game at the same time. And it's the first quarter. Because in high school back then we was playing quarters still,
Right.
8-minute
Right.
quarter.
Right.
So Josh look at me, he started laughing like, bro, if you don't like, he basically like, bro, if you don't
You
show these,
if you don't
bro,
turn up.
I had 20 in the first quarter.
Mhm.
I got hurt the very last play of the first quarter, so I was done for the game. I had a real bad knee situation, so I was done
Right.
for the rest of the game. But I dropped 20 in the first quarter. This coming from a person that people were like, oh, he can't score, he can't shoot.
Can't shoot.
I
Right.
just did. I was just a winner. I was just a winner, bro.
Period.
So I did whatever it took for my team to win. It didn't matter. I didn't. To this day, I never cared about stats.
Yeah.
Did we win? All right,
That's
for
it.
sure.
That's it. That's all it's about. Let me
That's
since
all
you
that matters.
since you went to North Carolina, and now that you're older, do you feel that it was another school you should have had went to, or was it another school in mind before you chose North Carolina?
So the way I answer that question is, if I'm basing it off of basketball, right?
Right.
I could easily say, oh, I could have went to UCLA, or I could have went to whatever school it may be, because back then I was getting recruited by all of the Pac-10 schools at that time, not Pac-12, Pac-10 schools at the time, other schools outside the state. So man, again, I didn't know what questions to ask, all the right questions to ask, all of these things. I always tell people it's funny. Coach Williams came to my house and he was telling me and my family about different things and this and that. And he said, son, you have any questions? Only question I had as a 17-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid, while he's in my mom and dad's living room was, do I have to cut my hair?
Period.
Because when I was a kid, that was like, if I was going to school and coach was like, oh, see, yeah, son, you're going to have to cut your hair.
Yeah.
That's a part of my identity. So
Yeah.
to me at that time was like, oh, you telling me I can't be me. I can't
Right.
even look like
Right.
me.
Right. 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 Right.
So
Right.
that was the question I asked, you know what I'm saying? But going back to your point or your question, basketball wise, I could easily be like, oh yeah, I could have went to another school because maybe I could have got to the league, or I would have played more, or I would have did all of this.
Yeah.
But it's really hard for the wiser me to realize like basketball was the tool that God gave me at a young age, right?
Right.
And I feel like he gave me that tool to connect with different people in different ways.
Absolutely.
Even with this interview we doing, you know what I'm saying? Like
Surely.
it's basketball that's leading us to this interview, but it's so much more game
Oh, of
and
course.
everything else in between this conversation. You feel what I'm saying? So saying all that to say, I could easily be like, yeah, I probably would have went to another school because I'm thinking on the basketball side of what
Right.
could have happened. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But like I said earlier, I never had a goal or dream of playing in the NBA, bro. I'm not gonna lie. When I
Right.
got to Carolina, that's when I realized, like, oh, it's a factory. Like, you got
Right.
people that walking on that want to get to the league or at least play overseas.
Right.
But even then, it was like I started seeing the business in it. I started seeing the politics in college and all of these different things that
Mhm.
everybody don't always see.
Of
You know what I'm
course.
saying? So
Of
I
course.
think at times my love for the game kind of went up and down
Oh,
because
of
I
course.
started seeing the business side of it.
Yeah.
Um, but then I also, just being honest to myself, I started realizing that Man, some people love basketball more than I love it, or they
Yeah,
love it in a different way. And I
yeah,
could be honest with that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah. Hell yeah.
to make it to that level, you gotta love it, but you gotta also love it in a selfish way. Like a selfish way to be like, nah, no matter what, I'm gonna get to this league.
For
No
sure.
matter what situation, no matter what, like I'm gonna get here. Sometimes it's for the betterment of the situation. Sometimes it harms people in that situation.
Right,
You know, sometimes families are split or divided in those situations. But
right.
you know, I'm thankful for like the Damian Lillards, bro.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
younger than me, the Damian Lillards, um, the Marshawn Lynch's, the Joshua Johnsons.
Mm-hmm.
And I say all of that because, especially for somebody like Dame to come from Weber State and make it to the league,
Mm-hmm.
it now tells these kids, well, I don't have to go to a North Carolina. I don't have to go to a Duke. If I
Absolutely.
can go to those schools, or if those are my schools of my choosing, great. But I don't have to feel pressure that I have to go there in order to make it to my dream or goals. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I just always tell kids and parents, if you could hoop, if you could play football, if you could do whatever, somebody's gonna see you.
No
Somebody's
matter
gonna
what.
see you.
No
You know what
matter
I'm
what.
saying?
Let me
Yeah.
greatest player you ever saw come from the city, come from Oakland, California, that you watched. It might have been young, any era. What's the great who is one of the greatest players that you ever watched play that stand out in your mind?
You're gonna have me naming names all day, bro.
Give me two.
Um,
Listen. Give me two. Just give me two. Q. Give me two. Give me two.
one of them is CG,
Mm,
James Akinjo, James Akinjo
mm,
Jr. that went to Baylor. His
mm-hmm,
dad,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mayhem. CG
mm-hmm,
from the West,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mondo. You
My
got Larry Guest that went to Fremont.
Larry.
I mean, we could keep Fremont. I could say damn near Fremont's whole team.
Look, they got
Um,
some ballers.
yeah, you could say Fremont's whole team. Like Fremont was special back then, you know. So I watched them.
Yeah,
P40 went to Castlemont, Paul Marigney.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Paul will give you 40 while turf dancing at halftime,
Was
turf dancing during timeouts. Like that was just the culture back there, you know what I'm saying? But
surely, for surely.
a lot of players, bro. A lot of players. Some
It,
players I played with Mondo. Mondo probably still one of the best players I ever played with or against as a kid growing up.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
definitely like the CGs, Paul Marinis, LGs, like, yeah.
Okay. All right. This part of the segment, man, it's no right or wrong answer. I just want your opinion on it. Just your opinion. Whatever stick out in your mind. If these teams met up and they played, who wins it all? 96 Bulls, 2001 Lakers, or the Warriors when they had KD and won a championship? Who wins this? In your opinion?
What rules we going off? We going off the 90s rules, or we going off these rules?
We're going off these rules. They
Oh,
all
KD and them.
they scorching it.
I think the only reason I say KD and them, it wouldn't be it'll go probably 7 games, no matter if they played the '01 Lakers or the '96 Bulls.
Okay.
When you got Kobe and Shaq, that's just like that's different. You know what I'm saying?
Really
Mike, Pippen, and Rodman was different.
different.
But on both of them teams, you didn't have nobody shooting 35-foot 3-pointers crossing half court.
No, you didn't.
And you had Steph, Clay, and KD. I just feel like whoever they would have played, Mike couldn't guard everybody.
No, no.
Kobe couldn't guard anybody. Now the Lakers would destroy the Warriors with Shaq. They ain't had nothing to
I go
guard
get
that.
his
But
regardless.
I ain't gonna lie, I put my money on KD and them,
That's
bro,
where
because
you going? It
yeah, I
ain't
just
no
go with
wrong
that one.
answer. Okay. All right. All right.
I'm gonna go with that one. It might
Okay.
just be I might be biased. It might just be the town in me, but it's like I'm gonna go with them. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with them.
I'm glad you said that. So, Splash Bros or TMC? Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said
He,
that.
he's trying to get me cussed out by the OGs. I'm gonna go with I love TMC too, because
Of course.
that was me being in my childhood, like really becoming a Warriors fan, and you know,
Of
I'm gonna
course.
go with Splash Brothers though.
All right. Okay. Let me ask you this: Shaq and Kobe, or Shaq and Penny? Yeah.
Penny was my favorite player growing up for a long time.
Boy,
But
nice.
Kobe was too. Kobe was one of my favorites too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Shaq and Kobe.
Okay. Listen, it's game 7 on the line. You needed 3 to tie it. This who you got on your team. Everybody in their prime. You got Reggie Miller, you got Ray Allen, you got Steph Curry, and you got Larry Bird. Who takes that shot? You the coach.
I'm going with Ray or Larry.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with neither one of them, but Ray just nuts Ray just ridiculous when it comes to those moments. Reggie ridiculous in those moments. But it was just something about Ray and Bird for me, bro. Like in those type of moments.
I get
I'll
it.
go with Ray. Matter of fact, let me take that back. I'll go with Ray or Reggie. Let me
Okay.
take that back. Ray or Reggie. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, this in your opinion, including yourself, give me 5 more greatest Tech players of all time. Any era. To you. You taking these 5 other players and y'all going to smash some shit. Including yourself. You are so give me 5 more.
Mondo,
Mondo,
Deuce,
Deuce,
Leon.
Leon.
They had to play, or did they just have to go to Tech?
They could have just went to Tech.
Keith.
Keith. One more.
See, it's a lot of people before I was in Tech that I don't remember. I'm gonna just go. You know what? I'm gonna just go with the 9th grade team we would have had. So Mondo, Deuce, Leon, Keith, and DeMarche.
Say no more. That's your 5. Say no more. It's
I'm
all
gonna go
good.
with that. I
Okay.
think that would be very, very hard to beat. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna rock with that squad for sure.
That's your 5. It's all good. Give me 2 great players you played with that you love to play
Pierce,
with. That you like. He know how to set. I know where he wanted at. He know when I want the screen. Y'all just got good chemistry. 2.
I'm gonna go with my loved one from the Dubs,
Mm,
Maurice Reed. Shout
mm,
out to Real. I could throw
Shout
the
out to
ball.
Real.
I could throw the ball to anywhere to Real. He gonna get it. He gonna get it. So I used to, and it's crazy. We was just literally last week. Me and Reese was just together kicking it, and we was talking about high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I could throw the ball anywhere by the rim. I would purposely try to throw the ball away from the rim just to see if he could get it. He never let me down.
Period.
So I go with Reese. Reese and Deuce are tied because I just used to love throwing oops to them.
Say no more. I'll take that.
And then I'm gonna have to go with Mondo and Leon as a tie because Mondo's still underrated to me. Mondo was crazy, bro. Like Mondo was crazy.
I hear them
And
stories.
Leon was just a man child. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Leon was just a man child. You need something done, Leon gonna do it for you. You know what I'm saying? You
Absolutely.
need a bucket, we gonna get it done. And then playing with him, I think it helped him be even more unselfish as a player.
Yeah.
So added to that, what the abilities he already had,
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with them.
Say
I
no
know
more.
I said 4, but it was
All
like
right, listen. I
I'll
know
split
that
those
feeling of
2 up.
like, bro, I can't pick this one without saying this one. I get it, bro. Like I'll take it. Trust me. The more you say it, the better for me. Give me 2 players you
Oh,
would
mama.
love to play with. That you didn't play with,
Allende,
love. Okay. Allende.
Allende Antonio.
Oh man, say no more. Can I hear that? Can I hear them stories about you and Antonio? How was that matchup?
Never played together, and me and Antonio never played together. But
Okay. What
those 2 of my favorite.
did you ever play against Antonio?
Yeah, all the time, our whole life,
Uh,
whole life. Me and Tone played each other our whole life.
what's a
Me and Inde played against each other. Huh?
What's a memorable game that you and Antonio went at it? A memorable game any year. I know y'all
Man,
got so many of them. First
right.
pop in your head.
I say probably a MAC championship.
Cool.
When we played MAC at the Henry J, old school Henry J. I think 11th grade.
Like,
11th grade.
who won that game?
We did. We did.
Okay, how much did you go for? How much Antonio go for? And how many assists or how many points did you have?
Only reason I know my points this specific game, like I told you, I was horrible at keeping my stats. People ask me how much you had after a game. I'd be like, I don't know, we won.
Right, period.
But I know for a fact I had 30 or 32 that game.
Ooh.
Only because, again, I remember people like, well, they only got Leon, and Leon ain't gonna be able to beat Mac by itself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right.
I'm taking
so
yeah.
But that was a game, man, and every game playing Tonio, like Tonio was just fun to play against.
Of course.
And it was him and Allende. And me and Allende went at it my junior year too, his senior year. Game at Tech. Just back and forth, back and forth. We wound up winning that game too. But those are two players I would have loved to play with. Like I would have loved to play with. Those are two players that whenever I would play pickup with them, even to this day, it's just easy. And I'm like, man, if we would have played together in high school, it would have been
it wouldn't even been fair.
For sure.
Yeah, for surely. I dig that. What's something that we literally got 3 minutes left. What's something that a coach has told you and it's stuck with you to this day?
Man, I'm okay. So in college, we used to have a practice plan before each practice.
Yeah.
At Carolina.
Yeah.
And I played under Coach Williams, Roy Williams, and he would have a thought of the day on the practice plan at the top. Thought of the day, offensive emphasis, which could be an example of no turnovers or second turnover, loss of ball. Now we got to run suicides or run lines.
Gotcha.
Then the defensive emphasis might be a missed box out or second missed box out. We got to run lines.
Right.
But the thought of the day always stood out to me because he would take different quotes and different lines from different people all throughout history.
Yeah.
And I forgot who the person was who said it, but one thing that always stuck to me, he said, it's amazing what can be accomplished when no one cares who gets the credit. And I look at that so deep, like on a spiritual level, on a family level, on a village level, like we were just talking about. And especially with us just like as Blacks, if I'm keeping it a buck, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah, keep it a buck.
If we keeping it a buck just with us, like, if we can learn how to do that shit.
Oh man. Man.
If we could learn how to use that, it doesn't matter. It's amazing what can be accomplished if no one cares who gets the credit.
Yeah.
Life would be totally different, bro.
Yeah.
For all of us, life would be totally different. But yeah, I'd say that one. That one.
We got a minute 30 left. What would you tell the younger you? You right now, if you met yourself junior year, what would you tell yourself? What advice would you give yourself and give to your kids right now?
Trust God more than you trust yourself.
Keep
God first, man. Things aren't going to be easy. Everything's not going to make sense. Everybody won't understand you or what you're going through at the moment. That doesn't mean they don't care, they don't love you.
Right.
Some things are just for you personally to get through. But yeah, in a nutshell, bro, I really just say, man, no matter what, just continuing to keep your faith and belief in God and just trust and lean on him more. The least you understand, trust on him even more.
Well,
that's what I would tell myself.
100 Q. Listen, man, it's been an honor, bro. I just want to give you your flowers. The time about to run out on us, but I just want to say, brother, you a legend, bro. Like, we appreciate you, man. It was an honor watching you coming up, all the shit, man. Just want to give you your flowers on the show, bro. That's it, man. Thank you for taking the time out.
Man, I thank you, bro. Again, I know we was planning to do this a week earlier, but I appreciate you for your patience, bro. Just you reaching out. Shout out to Easy for connecting us.
Shout out Easy, bro.
Shout out to Easy. That's my brother, man. I love him beyond life. And man, you got me for life, bro. Like, just love your